Now it's time to talk about bipolar disorder. I also have bipolar disorder. Um, so what happens with bipolar is there's two types of bipolar. I'm the unspecified type, but I think I'm type 1, and we'll get to type 1. It's about you get more manic than depressed. So you can go a few days being like depressed, but then you get manic for like maybe a week or two. I don't know, just dependent, and then you can become manic, you become depressed again for a few days. Um, then type 2 is you're more depressed and for a week or two, and then you get manic for a few days, then you get depressed again. Um, so why it's unspecified? Because I think my it's more for me. Is more a lot more short term. With it goes back and forth a lot faster, like with manic and depressed. So I'll go up and down and up and down and up and down constantly, and that can happen too with bipolar. That for me personally, that's what happens. You know, I'm manic for a couple of days. I'm depressed for a couple of days. I'm manic again for a couple of days. I'm depressed again. It's really confusing. And what happens when you're manic is you feel like you get really impulsive and just do a bunch of things you wouldn't normally do, which sucks because you have to really like have self-control when you're manic, or you'll spend all your money or just do impulsive stuff. Like it sucks. Like you can even do stuff that's like illegal, like I don't know, just decide not to like pay your bills or whatever, and it's just like I'm manic, whatever, it's not going to bother me. And then it comes to bite you. um so manic, when you're manic, you have like lack of sleep. Like each time it's like you can get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep and be okay, or even like all night for I can do that for a couple of nights if I don't sleep or take anything for me to sleep. And so like every case is different. I forgot to say that in my autism video too. Every case of bipolar is different. So what else can happen when you're manic? You can make a lot like I said, be impulsive. You feel on the top of the world, but part of you is like anxious, like it's like fake happiness in a sense, like, oh, I'm manic, I shouldn't be feeling this happy. But you get really creative. That's a good thing about being manic. You get really creative with whatever you're creative with. You have all these ideas, you accomplish so much. Like you're just like a I just see it as a Tasmanian devil, like going around like all hyper and stuff. You get really hyper and just on top of the world. And then when you're depressed, a lot more people know what depression is, but when you're depressed, that just it's kind of like, for me it's hard to transition from being manic to depressed, because when I'm manic, I don't really get to enjoy it before I'm dropped down again, and I don't really get to deal with my feelings when I'm depressed before I'm brought back up to mania again. Depression, obviously, like you don't feel like doing anything. You just so all that energy you had when you're manic just poofs, and you get all depressed. You think about stuff in your past that you did. We all did things in our past, but you just beat yourself up about it. Just can't get out of bed. You sleeping too much. You sleep too much. You're kind of just catching up from your mania. You know, probably all the feelings that you had during mania that you couldn't deal with because you just felt this rush. You're probably dealing when you're manic, I mean depressed, when you're depressed, to just make up for it. When you're when you're depressed, you just feel like, not doing anything, feel like low self-esteem. You feel high self-esteem with mania, even like you feel like a superhero. You feel like you're better than everyone. Even I know it's not right to think that way, but like when you're manic, you just think like, oh, I'm the best person alive. I'm better than everyone else. Why, if you have a creative pursuit, you're thinking, why am I farther? I'm better than everybody. And then when you're depressed, you're like, everyone's better than me. I suck at everything. Why can't I do anything right? Basic depressed stuff. Um, the dark part, the most dark part about depression is you can have suicidal thoughts. But also, for me, I don't know about other people that are bipolar. I can have suicidal thoughts when I'm manic too. So that means I have to really pay attention because of my depression and mania is like so linked together. When I'm depressed, my depression is over. I'm still having those suicidal thoughts. They can carry to my manic state, and that's dangerous because, like I said, you're impulsive when you're manic. So it's like I really have to control that. I'm never gonna end my life. It's just something I gotta deal with being bipolar. So that's like the main rundown of on top of my head I can think of just from someone that struggles with bipolar disorder. I didn't use any psychology books or anything. This isn't a you know just from personal experience. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll talk about aspects of myself, mental health wise, sexuality wise, just a little bit about me, you know, just stuff that I go through. And if you wanna, this is also my backup channel where I post stuff that doesn't go on my main channel. So if you wanna follow me with that stuff, I'd really appreciate you along for a ride. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you when you watch me again, metaphorically.